Hello, Budget Kings and Queens. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel and you have not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Join the family of Budgets with Elma, okay? And if you are returning, welcome back. I got something, what? Good for you today. We are going to track my expenses for the month of April, okay? As we are in May, let's close out April, all right? Knowing the final numbers, crunching everything down, and seeing where my money went, okay? So, before I get into it, all right, let me know how your day is going, okay, in the comments below. I like to know how your days is going, as always. Mine was pretty good. I had a good day at work, and today I actually had a half day, so that is awesome. Awesome. A half day. So that is a plus, okay? So with that being said, let's see what I have spent for the whole month, okay? So I go back when I'm doing my tracking my expenses and closing out the month in the next month, right? I want to see what I have spent, where my money has gone, and really breaking down the final numbers. So what I do is, and everybody close out their expenses slightly different. That's why every budget is different. None of the two are the same. And I know you've heard that phrase before. So with me, I go back to my budget breakdown first, and I update what the actual amounts were for the expenses that I put for my expenses for those two paychecks. And then I go into tracking my expenses, and then we see the final number of where my money went. So let's get into it, okay? Now, for paycheck number one, and I hope you guys can see it. By the way, I am working with a new lighting. It's not the one that I normally use, so I'm trying to see how it looks, okay? So let me know in the comments below if it's okay for you to see. All right, now let's get into it. For paycheck number one, okay, I allocated that I would get $1,500, and if you are a returning subscriber, you already know after I take out my health insurance, my dental, my 401k, and any contributions that I'm doing, any deductions, and of course, half of my mortgage payment, because me and my hubby, we do split our mortgage payment in half, and I usually take out my portion before the 1,500 comes in, okay? And I do that with each paycheck that I get. And then after taking that out, I am then left with the 1,500. Okay, so every time I budget, you will always see 1,500 unless I have a side hustle or something extra comes in. But as for my actual job, after I deduct all those things I just mentioned, I always leave 1,500 to work on my expenses. Okay, so my income is 1,500 after taking out what we spoke about. Then for my mortgage, I never put the amount because me and my husband, we do keep that private, okay? But I indicated that we did pay it, okay? And I'm just going to put a check here. For electric, I indicated that I would be spending $134. It was actually $150, okay? For my car insurance, again, me and my hubby, we do pay our four walls together. And so my portion is $156.50, and my hubby pays the other half. We do have two vehicles that are full coverage. One is for my daughter who is college bound. Her gift, of course, from my hubby was a car for school. And so we do take care of the car insurance, and she just pays for the gas, okay? So she just boom, and no car insurance payment, which she loves. So me and my hubby, we do split the car insurance payment, and my portion, of course, from my car that I'm actually driving is for $156.50, okay? And that is correct. So I'm just going to put a check here, okay? For my Netflix, it was actually $21.50. Okay, for my Canva, it was actually $12.99, and I allocated that I would pay $14, but it was $12.99. And for my CapCut, I believe it was $3. Okay, and that's just simply for storage. All right, And I use this to edit my videos um, and a couple of other things. Okay, but that's mostly what I use it for. Okay, when I calculate everything, okay, 150 for electric, 150, 650 for car insurance, plus 21.21 for Netflix, plus $12.99 for Canva, plus $3 for CapCut. That equals $343.70. And what I do is I minus the amount that I indicated my budget would be for my fixed expenses. And right there, I have spent $12 more than what I budgeted for, okay? Now for the next section, groceries, I use just what I had. So all the cash envelopes are fine as they are. So I don't need to check those. Same thing with my savings. What I indicated I would be saving, that is exactly what I saved. For my credit card payments, that is correct. And my toll, that is correct. So these are all correct, okay? So just in this section here, I under budget because it was $12.20 more than what I thought it would be, okay? Let's move to paycheck number 2 for April. Again, income $1,500, as you guys already know. And for electric, I split my electric in half, so that is correct there. Okay, my HOA, that is correct, $100 for HOA. For my State Farm, which is my life insurance, that is correct as well. My internet is accurate, right on the dot. And my Apple storage is correct. It's actually $2.99, but we're gonna leave it as is, okay? It's just a 1 cent difference, so we're all good. These categories, my cash envelopes are correct. I used just what was budgeted, so we're all good at there. For my savings section, I only stuff what I budget for, so that remains the same. For the toll, I did $50 for toll, and that is correct. And I do live in Florida, and I do take the turnpike to get to work since I live a little far from work, and it does help me to get to work 10 to 20 minutes sooner. So that is definitely a plus. Okay. Next thing, my cell phone. I was gonna purchase a cell phone, and I indicated it would be for $190. It ended up being for $185. Okay, and my daughter had a field trip, I believe, that is coming up, and it was for $22, so that remained the same. Okay, so when the only difference here is a $5 difference right here. So instead of that, so that makes it $257. Okay. So I have a +5 here because I budgeted more than what it actually was. Okay, so that one is done. Now let's go into our expenses for April, okay, to close out the month. All right, what I like to do whenever I spend any money, whether it's with cash from my cash envelopes, or if I'm at a place that does not take cash and I actually have to use my actual debit card, okay, then what I do is I then go through all my statements for my credit card, if I do use credit card or debit card, and I keep receipts unless they send them to me digitally, and I just go through them for the whole month or every pay period, and I write them down and I keep them somewhere. And then at the end of the month, of course, I write them down and I break down what categories they fall in, and if I paid with card or cash, okay? And then I'm going to see where my money went towards the end. So let's begin. For April 1st, I went shopping at Dollar Tree. I spent $15.59 on my card. On April 7th, I spent on toiletries at Dollar General for $12.13. On 4/17, I spent on food, that's snacks for my kids, of course. At Wawa, I spent $4.59. On April 7th, on beauty, I went to Elegant Beauty, which this one was Classy Girl. And I bought some stuff to get my hair done. And that was for $55.54. On April 7th, I went to CVS and bought some, like toothpaste, mouthwash, and I spent $7.56 spending cash. On April 10th, I did grocery shopping at Walmart, and I spent $45.93. On April 10th, I put gas in my car at Wawa, I believe it's Walmart gas station for $20, and I used my card. On April 12th, I went shopping at Dollar Tree for drinks and things like that, and I believe some napkins. So like a little bit of toiletries, a little bit of groceries. That's why it's just called shopping, because it's multiple things that I shopped for. And that was a total of $19.80. I used my card. On 4/12, I went to Walgreens. My kids had to buy something there. I don't remember what, but it was for $5.05. I used cash. On April 15, I went grocery shopping, but mostly it was like for snacks for my kids again. This is $6.69. I used cash. For my kids on April 16, they got something that they want to bring for their class for Mickey D's. Like I think one of them brought some for their friend. It was their birthday or something. They were treating their friend to breakfast. But I spent $5.92. That was cash. And on April 16, we did a little grocery shopping at the Dollar Tree. Bought a couple of little things we're missing off our original grocery list. And that was for $9.36. That was with my card. On April 17, we went to Wawa, got some stuff there. And I think I see with my little arrows, so that was probably gas I got there. Okay, but either way, it's with my card, and it was $30.47. And then I did grocery shopping at the produce store for $6.55. And this was opposite. So the snacks that I bought at Wawa, that was the one for $6.55. And the gas was the $30.47, okay, at the produce store. So it was like vice versa. And for shopping at DD's, because I did have to get a couple of things for people, it was their birthdays, as I mentioned. So I spent $51.72. And for gas at Wawa, I spent $50 on my card. Shopping at Home Depot, okay, so that's like home maintenance, little things that I needed for the house that my husband wanted to do, like some home improvement things. He asked me to pick him up some things. And it all ended up being for $14.47. I used my card. And for groceries at Walmart, I spent $119.97. That was cash. And then on April 28th for my kids, I spent $22, of course, for my daughter's field trip, $10 for my son's uniform for PE, and that equaled $32, and that was on my card. Both different purchases. Okay, so for this section here, for groceries, I had indicated that I would be spending $230 for the month, right? Oh, no. Sorry. Let me take that back. When I totaled the different categories, for the grocery category, I did spend, and I hope you can see that in frame. I wrote it ahead of time because since the expense list was so long and I keep track of it on this form, when I went back to see where my money went, I then added the totals of what each category comes up to after calculating all my expenses. So for groceries, I spent $230, okay? But for the month, I budgeted that I would only spend, or I had the limit of spending $350. And so when you minus 350 of what I budgeted for and the actual amount of 230, I have, okay, 120 left, okay, in my groceries budget, okay? For my gas, okay, oh, I look like I didn't put that one in. Let me just see real quick. Sorry about that. Let me pop that in, because I believe I wrote one of them on the wrong line. Let's see, just because that was the one that was flipped on this side. So let me go ahead and add that. I put gas based on my expense one time, and then my second time I put gas was $30.47. That gives me a total of 80. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write that in. Gas is 80. Okay, so when you minus 80 from 100, of course, that gives you plus $20 of leftover from my gas, okay, that I budget for. For toiletries, I have budgeted $30 to be used, and I spent $17, leaving me $13 left over in my toiletry category. For kids, I budgeted $35 if they needed anything for both of my pays, right? So the first pay I indicated for paycheck number 1, it would be for $15. And then on my paycheck number 2, I indicated $20, which equals the 35. Okay, so 35 is for the whole month, is what I budgeted for, and I spent 32. That gives me a plus of $3. For shopping, my budget was only $30, so I overspent on budget right there. I meant my budget on the shopping category, because I only budgeted 30. Okay, based on what I see here. And I spent 102. So that's 30, and that's a minus 72. And then for health, that's also within the shopping category. So I'm just going to put 0 because I used 8 and now I have 0 left. Okay. And usually if I don't have enough in a different envelope, I always use the remainder of whatever I have in the extra ones to cover the expense. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. So for the beauty, I had budgeted $70 minus the $56 that I spent, gives me a difference, which I'm going to write it here, minus $70 gives me the difference of plus 14. Okay, so any extra that I had, I then covered what other areas that I needed. Okay, oops, sorry if I moved you out of frame, but I hope you can see everything. Okay, let me know if you enjoy doing your check-ins for the week, if you do it weekly, or if you do it bi-weekly, or if you do it monthly. Let me know if you enjoy doing them, and do you find them helpful. Okay, I do, because it really shows me where my money is going at the end, and I love that. Okay, so that way I know what areas I spend the most and which areas I spend the less. Also, it tells me if I need to bump up a certain area, which means a category, or if I need to add another category, okay, instead of putting certain things together. Okay, so right here, when I add everything that I was spending, and I'm just going to add everything in. So I spent $200 for groceries, $80 for gas, $17 for toiletries, $32 for kids, $102 for shopping, $8 for health, $56 for beauty slash personal. I have spent a total of $525, okay, for my spending for the month, okay? And what I have left over, okay, because I'm going to add that in, is I have 120 left over out of taking it out of 350 of the original budget amount. And we do 20, 13, 3, 14 equals 170. So I have I have 170, right? And so I'm going to minus this one here, okay? Because I did have to spend on it. Because remember I said whatever I have left over in the remaining envelopes, I would then take it to cover, of course, any amounts that I'm missing, okay? So out of the 170, I'm going to minus the 72 difference from the shopping category because I only budgeted 30, but I spent 102 on my card, and I had to take it out of these to put that money back into my spending, right? So right there, 170 minus 72 equals leaving me $89 left over as my rollover, okay? All right, so there you have it. That is how much I spent for the month, okay? I have spent $525 and I have $98 left over to roll over into my next budget, which is, we're in May, so I'll be using this amount to cash stuff, okay? My saving challenges. So with that being said, thank you for staying with me this long and seeing how I break down the money I brought in and the money I spent out and what I was left with, okay? And thank you for being here.